Hello and welcome to Siyasat TV. I am Sumayya Junaid Ahmed bringing you the news. Here are the headlines.
Have not yet praised return to Gaddi, says BKU spokesperson Rakesh Tiketi. Jailed Kerala journalist Siddiq Kappan gets 5 days bail to meet mother. Ranjan Gogoi's remark on judiciary is shocking and worrisome, says Sharad Pawar. Petrol diesel prices increase for 7th straight day. Petrol nears rupees 89 per litre in New Delhi. Not leaving comedy, Munawar Farooqi's first YouTube video after a month in jail. Lok Satta Srinivas passed away with COVID in Karimnagar. Armed with pistol, cop creates flutter near NGM hospital. Myanmar protest resumes, internet restored as military circles.
Let's begin with our top story. On Sunday, BKU spokesperson Rakesh Tiketi during the Kisan Mahapanchayat in Indri said, "Don't spoil our brains. Both Kisan and Jawan have right to say that. Take back the black laws. We have not yet raised the slogan to return back to the Gaddi, so it's better if you keep doing our work." Let's listen in.
ये कहा है कि बिल वापसी कर लो, अभी गद्दी वापसी का नारा नहीं लगाया हमने नहीं लगाया अभी गद्दी वापसी का। सरकार आप ही बनाओ, आप ही चलाओ, जो करना है करो, आप हमारे काम करते रहो। हम जो भी सरकारें आएंगी वो किसी भी पार्टी की सरकार स्टेट में हो या सेंटर में हो, हम उसी सरकार से बात करते हैं पॉलिसी पे। किसान की प्रायोरिटी हमारी पहली प्रायोरिटी होगी, गांव की प्रायोरिटी हमारी पहली होगी। फसलों के दाम का सवाल हमारे लोग उठाते रहेंगे। और मेरे पत्रकार बंधुओं, अगला तो बिल आपके खिलाफ आना है, सेंसर बोर्ड बैठना है, एक का खबर छन छन का जाएगी, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं कि आप अपनी कलम से
Moving on to our next story, after 22-year-old Disha Ravi's arrest, 2 more activists were warranted by the police in the case of involving toolkit shared by climate campaigner Greta Thunberg in support of the farmers' protest.
Warrants are out against activists Nikita Jacob and Shantanu, and they face charges that are not bailable. Disha Ravi, a climate activist, has been accused of sedition and is in police custody. The police claim, according to their investigations, that the organization behind the toolkit shared by Greta Thunberg had contacted Nikita Jacob to organize a tweet storm ahead of the Republic Day protest by farmers. Police say the organization is a Khalistani group.
And 8 days after the flash flood wrecked Uttarakhand's Chamoli district, 54 bodies have been recovered so far. Authorities have informed that leaves over 150 persons still missing by the ongoing initial estimates.
Various forces are still racing against the time to save the possible survivors. The glacier burst in the upper Himalayas that caused the avalanche deluge in the Dhauliganga-Alakananda river system washed away a hydroelectricity station and 5 bridges, besides severely damaging another power project. A multi-agency track and rescue effort involving the state and national disaster response team, the armed forces, paramilitary and police has been on since then. P.K. Tiwari, commandant of the National Disaster Response Force, said bringing the bodies out of the tunnel is turning out to be a difficult task.
Moving on, Siddiq Kappan, the Kerala journalist arrested in October on his way to Hathras in Uttar Pradesh to report the alleged gang rape of the Dalit woman, has been granted bail by the Supreme Court for 5 days with conditions to visit his mother.
The Supreme Court said during the visit he can't speak to the media or post on social media, and he cannot meet anyone except relatives, doctors and anybody connected to the mother's health. He will be escorted by the cops and will be the responsibility of the Uttar Pradesh police to arrange his travel. Earlier he was allowed to speak to his mother via video call.
Moving on, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar on Sunday termed the reported remarks by the former Chief Justice of India and Rajya Sabha member Ranjan Gogoi about the judiciary as shocking and worrisome. Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut said in Nasik that Gogoi's statement should be taken seriously and added that former CJI should have explained the examples from the tenure as why to be he thinks so.
Mr. Gogoi had reportedly said that the judiciary is in a ramshackle state and expressed concern over the pendency of cases. Speaking on the sidelines of an event in Pune, Mr. Pawar said, "Last week I read somewhere that Prime Minister Narendra Modi in one of the meetings of Supreme Court judges stated that the standard of the Indian judiciary is very high. We all felt good. But the statement made by the former Chief Justice of India, who has been now sent to Parliament, is very shocking kind of a statement. I do not know if he tried to explain the truth of judiciary." The NCP patriarch added that the remarks made by Mr. Gogoi are worrisome for all.
Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has tested positive for the coronavirus hours after he fainted. UN Mehta Hospital Director of Dr. K.R.N. Patel informed about the health condition of Mr. Rupani as he collapsed on the stage while addressing a public rally in Baroda on Sunday.
Minister, he has come from the airport to the institute. He has gone to the ward walking and without any support. He is okay. He is stable. His condition is okay. All the report, including ECG, echo, CT scan, and other reports are normal. There is nothing to worry. Just for observation, will be kept in the hospital for further 20.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today expressed grief at the loss of lives in road accident in Maharashtra's Jalgaon district and conveyed his condolences to the families.
15 labourers were killed after a truck overturned in Jalgaon, Prime Minister Modi said in a tweet posted by his office. Heart-wrenching truck accident in Jalgaon, Maharashtra. Condolences to the bereaved families. May the injured recover at the earliest.
Domestic fuel rates continue to soar across the country. State-run oil marketing companies today increased fuel prices for the 7th consecutive day.
As per the notifications from the oil retailers, petrol prices have been hiked by 26 paise to rupees 88.99 per litre from rupees 88.73 in Delhi. On the other hand, diesel prices went up by 29 paise from rupees 79.6 per litre to rupees 79.35 per litre. In the last 7 days, fuel prices have gone up by rupees 2.6 litre and rupees 2.17 per litre for the petrol and diesel prices respectively.
Well, stand-up comedian Munawar Farooqi, who walked out of an Indore jail last week, posted his first video on his YouTube channel after spending nearly a month in prison.
He was arrested for allegedly making filthy and indecent jokes about Hindu gods and goddesses and as well as Home Minister Amit Shah. In the 10-minute clip titled Munawar Farooqi Leaving Comedy, the 29-year-old stand-up comic apologized to his fans for misleading title and explained why he won't shy from his passion.
Let's bring you the latest on the COVID figures in the country. India's COVID-19 tally caseload crossed 1.9 crore mark with 11,649 new coronavirus cases and 90 deaths reported in the past 24 hours. Remember, this is the government data shared by the Health Ministry coming up early this morning. Amid concerns of the third wave, more than 9,489 people successfully fought off the viral disease, taking the overall recoveries to 1.6 crore. The country now has 1,916,589 cases and more than 1,55,000 lives lost due to COVID-19, whereas Telangana recorded 99 new COVID-19 cases and 2 fatalities. Over 82 lakh healthcare workers and frontline workers have received the first dose of the vaccine till Sunday. Let's shift our focus to Telangana, where anti-corruption crusader and Lok Sabha district president 67-year-old N. Srinivasa passed away today. Srinivas, who was infected by the COVID-19 virus 15 days ago, breathed his last while undergoing treatment in Wren Hospital at 6:10 a.m. today.
Both Srinivas and his wife Madhu underwent COVID-19 test on 1st of February and tested positive for coronavirus on 2nd of February. While his wife underwent treatment in home isolation, he was admitted into hospital on the same day. All these days he survived with oxygen support as his lungs were infected by 80%. Though the family members had tried to shift him to Hyderabad for better treatment, they failed to do so due to fluctuations in oxygen levels.
Panic gripped residents in Rajendra Nagar after a wild animal suspected to be leopard attacked a cow in the wee hours today. The animal is suspected to have attacked the cow in a secluded place. On receiving the information from the local residents, the forest department official and police reached in the spot and are investigating. 2 youngsters who fell off the bike while trying to avoid pothole were moved down by the lorry near Mahatma Gandhi bus station in Hyderabad on Sunday night.
The deceased were identified as 19-year-old Fasih Khan and 23-year-old Mohsin. Both were residents of Musa Nagar in Chadarghat. Passerby alerted the police, who sent the bodies to Osmania Hospital mortuary and registered a case.
Moving on, within 72 hours of G. Vijayalakshmi taking over as the mayor on 11th of February, Shekhpet Mandal Revenue Officer Srinivas Reddy, who was in Visakhapatnam participating in the rescue operation in connection with the bus accident in Araku Valley, received transfer orders.
Widely perceived as reaction to the earlier development, Reddy on 28th of January lodged a complaint at the Banjara Hills Police alleging that Vijayalakshmi had abused and prevented him from performing his duties. The MRO had alleged in complaint that over previous enmity, Vijayalakshmi along with the supporters barged into his office and abused him even though he was on leave to go to the High Court to attend a hearing. Vijayalakshmi lodged a counter complaint denying the allegations and contended that was the MRO who abused and assaulted her supporters. It is believed that Vijayalakshmi and Reddy had got into confrontation over delay in issuing caste and income certificates.
Armed with 9mm pistol, a constable has created a flutter at Sri Venugopal Swami Temple near MGM Hospital on Saturday night. It is learned that the constable was heavily drunk. The police rushed to the spot and took him into the custody after they got a wind of the news from the locals.
The police who recovered the pistol from the constable shifted him to Matwada police station. The accused has been identified as 53-year-old KV Bala Prasad, a head constable belonging to the Armed Reserve working as a prisoner escort in the MGM hospital. Matwada Sub-Inspector P. Srinivas Reddy said that the case has been registered under the Arms Act against the constable. Meanwhile, the Armed Reserve wing has also ordered an inquiry into the incident.
Moving on to our international news, pro-democracy protests resume in Myanmar's biggest city, Yangon, today 2 weeks after military seized power coup. Despite a heavily military presence, it has increased the concern of the crackdown.
NetBlocks, which tracks internet disruption, said on Twitter that connectivity was being restored, but the social media remained restricted for many users. The system was shut down for 8 hours. The military seized power on 1st of February, the day Myanmar parliament was due to begin new session following elections in November, which were won by National League for Democracy in a landslide.
Turkey's military chief said Kurdish fighters in northern Iraq killed 13 Turkish civilians as military operations against coup began last week. According to the Minister of National Defense, Hulusi Akbar, Turkish forces completed a military operation in an area with 48 Kurdish fighters and 3 Turkish soldiers were killed during the 3 days of clashes.
In a news conference on Sunday, Akar said from Kurdistan Workers' Party (PKK), who were killed, including 3 senior members of armed group, adding 2 fighters were captured alive. 3 Turkish soldiers were also wounded in the operation. Turkey on Wednesday launched the mission dubbed Claw Eagle 2 against PKK fighters holed up in northern Iraqi region of Ghara.
Alright, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern ordered the country's biggest city, Auckland, into snap lockdown for the first time in nearly 6 months after 3 coronavirus cases emerged in the community.
The Pacific Island nation has been widely praised for its handling of the pandemic with just 25 deaths in a population of 5 million. But almost 2 million residents were told on Sunday to stay home from midnight when the level 3 lockdown begins, with schools and businesses to close except for essential services. She said that restrictions were just in case it could be one of the more transmissible strain of COVID-19 that we need to act with a high degree of caution around.
Moving on, the White House said on Sunday that United States President Joe Biden will hold the first event with the other leaders from Group of 7 nations in a virtually meeting on Friday to discuss the coronavirus pandemic, the world economy and the dealing with China.
The meeting is first by the top leaders from the G7 group of rich democracies since April, the White House said in a statement. The virtual engagement with leaders of world's leading democratic market economies will provide an opportunity for President Biden to discuss plans to defeat the COVID-19 pandemic and rebuild the global economy.
And Donald Trump, the former president of the United States, has welcomed the acquittal in the second impeachment trial, saying his political movement to make America great again has only just begun.
The United States Senate voted 57 of 43 in favor of convicting the former president on Saturday, falling short of the 2/3 majority needed to convict him for charge of inciting the mob that attacked the U.S. Capitol on 6th of January during the certification of Democrat Joe Biden's election win. In a statement shortly after the acquittal, Trump called the trial yet another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of the nation. Trump left the office on 20th of January, so impeachment could not use to remove him from the power, but Democrats had hoped to secure a conviction to hold the 74-year-old responsible for Capitol siege and set the stage for a vote to bar him from serving in public office again.
Before we wrap up our bulletin, let's have a look on our headlines.
Have not yet praised return to Gaddi, says BKU spokesperson Rakesh Tiketi. Jailed Kerala journalist Siddique Kappan gets 5 days bail to meet mother. Ranjan Gogoi's remark on judiciary is shocking and worrisome, says Sharad Pawar. Petrol diesel prices increase for 7th straight day. Petrol nears ₹89 per litre in New Delhi. Not leaving comedy, Munawar Farooqi's first YouTube video after a month in jail. Lok Satta Srinivas passed away with COVID in Karimnagar. Armed with pistol, cop creates flutter near NGM hospital. Myanmar protest resumes, internet restored as military circles.
These were all the updates. More news on the other side. Thank you for your time. For more news, stay tuned to Siyasat TV.